Um, I have to be honest, 100% honest. Luckily, no one's over here. But for people who are watching back, I'm a little fizzled out. I'm tired. Um, but usually I'm fine if I'm just tired. But like, I think when I was about to, so I baked a cake for Sunday because I'm doing a cake for a bake off, a charity event. It's got like a drag show and everything as well. But anyway, after I was done with everything, had my lunch and everything, my throat's kind of gone a little bit sore. It's like kind of painful when you swallow. It's better now that I have a nap, but it's still like it's probably better by only like 10 or 20%. Um, but yeah, so if I look a bit parched or a little bit or a little bit like down, that's because I'm physically a little unwell. I guess this isn't too bad as a practice as a first session, or first time like live streaming properly. Um, with better organization and getting understanding of like timing. Like I think I probably should have checked my demographic and see where the most people are coming from, watching from, and then check their timing and like Australia's timing different, like time difference, and kind of organize it from there. I haven't even had dinner yet. I basically woke up, ran straight to the bathroom because I had something spicy for lunch, if you catch my drift, and then just like wolfed down some biscuits and some water because I was very, very thirsty. Um, yeah. Oh, so tired. I have a feeling that the session is going to be very short because if I wait like 10 or 15 minutes and nobody's shown up, then I'll probably just end the stream. Um, but yeah, if you join, feel free to say hi, um, and let me know your name as always if you see the video. Um, and if you're interested in watching the like short film, like short reel films, go and watch Eavesdropping, the show. There's a link down in the description. It's my favorite Instagram show. Mm. But yeah, other than that, um, I guess part one basically had a good friend that I met from out close called Gino. Um, and, he's kind of responded to some of my questions. I was talking about sort of like basically, if you're interested, it would be nice to see you say hi and let me know your name or whatever your nickname is so I can recognize you in the future, hopefully with my bad memory. Um, and, let me know where you're from and, you know, topics kind of about love. So you can feel free to like say, um, if you had an anniversary lately or if you're finally found someone special, what's this love story of yours? Mm, um, Actually reminds me, speaking of like love, recently I'm gonna post about it as well, but there won't be much footage because photography was kind of limited there because the whole thing was basically about photography. But there's a gallery right now at a place called Qtopia in Darlinghurst in Sydney, and it was basically a project where they found a collection like here and there and create a collection of vintage queer men's, pretty much all of them were queer men. I don't know if there were any queer men, not that I saw, but it was like gay people, gay guys, like couples, vintage gay photos, and it was really, really cool and really sweet. Like it's quite a huge amount of photos, and the diversity was so much. Excuse me, Curtin. Um, I just find it's really annoying when my hair flops around. Like if I don't use product, it just flops around and kind of gets in the way, even though it's like mostly short, just like this middle region that's longer. So if I don't use product and I'm not wearing a hat or anything, I just started using a comb. But yeah, the what was interesting about photography is that there were so many people in uniforms. There were people that were like so diverse. There was one where it was like a really like jockey kind of guy in the mirror, and then his boyfriend like hugging him from behind. There was one where there was a guy who was wearing, his partner was wearing like pretty much like a bride's kind of uniform, Don't know if they were getting married or something. There were guys who were freshly married, freshly married. And there were just a huge diversity, and just kind of proves that, you know, gay love from a long time ago came in all shapes and forms. And, if you're still single like me, there's always someone for you. You just haven't met them yet. And that's part of the thing that I was bringing up in part one, or 4 p.m. session, which was very much about sort of, mm, being 36 and mostly single in large part. Um, it's one of those things that kind of makes you very scared. Like male loneliness epidemic, we talked about it in one of the episodes this season, in the women's season. Well, we kind of pointed out that it's a lot to do with, for straight men, it's a lot to do with just them kind of like not appreciating women. Essentially, women are kind of just used, expected to take up all these responsibilities. So, for example, household chores and such. It's like men go from their parents doing everything for them to finding a woman to do everything else that their mom used to do for them. And that's kind of like, and some men are just straight up psychos or freaks, toxic as fuck. Like I just saw a video right now, like a real, where this I'm not saying this is all colored people, but this was a black guy. But there's plenty of amazing, warm, kind-hearted black men. But this black guy in particular, he was saying that the video basically had captions saying, "This is what it feels like when a woman breaks my heart," and he was like using Crocs and kind of already almost kind of stepping on uh Luna Moth, which made it harder to watch because I love Luna Moths. I think they're so pretty and they kind of represent like I feel like change and stuff. Like it made me think of Luna Moths because they're so gracious and cool and such a big transformation. But anyway, the croc was like kind of already moving along, stepping on it, and then as the video progresses, it just fully steps and smears over like the moth. And then obviously got like backlash over the video, and then he decided to pin the video, which was really really fucked up. So yeah, but with like gay people, the I think the lonely male epidemic loneliness is also still a thing. It still kind of applies to us, but gay people generally have better hygiene and better, like, we don't have like skid marks as much and all that kind of stuff, at least I think. um and we learn to take care of ourselves. I think there's a higher standard in a sense. One of the things I did mention in my notes that I was going to bring up in session one was, I do feel like it's an interesting thing that we're trying to be a culture that's like a group that's more inclusive. Like LGBTQ is all essentially about representing all the different kinds of people and being inclusive. But we are very, very focused on physical appeal. In a way, it's like a mix of that being like our goal. And then the physical appeal is like a mix of, I guess, like childhood trauma or like identity trauma, like trying to prove that we deserve or prove that we can live up to like what we want to think like is something that looks good, but we kind of almost like project it onto other people and be like, well, I've worked so hard to make myself look this good, I don't think you look good enough to meet my standards. um like it's an interesting thing when you talk about physical attraction, and then you think about like, say, I'm physically attracted to this and this type of person. How much of that is like a bit like of a racial preference in the racism kind of way, or is it just like a physical attraction? Like for me, and I don't love saying it and telling people that, but I generally don't date Asians. I started off dating when I was younger a lot of Asians, and also like other people, like Western people, white people. But then as I progressed older, I just learned that like between the two, I generally find most Asians more like friends. And because like we share such a similar culture and background, like I like to lean into like other cultures, and I just find it more interesting, more exciting, and just I don't know, it's like what I'm attracted to. And it's kind of the excuse everyone says. And it makes you kind of feel like, well, am I like kind of racist then. It's an interesting area to look into, I guess. Um, I guess before we move on to talking about love a little bit, it's already 10 minutes in. Um, I will quickly mention this will be mostly for the people who are watching later on. But I guess like with love, I mean, talking about gay perspectives. Oh my God, I lost my train of thought for a sec. Oh yeah, with gay people, it was really interesting. Apparently, this is going off a reel, so it might not be like back like fact checked, but it's more just like something that came to mind. Otherwise, I would fact check it first. But apparently, there was a research where people were saying, well, because the question that basically was posed was how much of homophobia is connected to homosexual homosexuality. And to run the experiment, in short, essentially, they had two groups of people: the gays, I mean, the straights, like full-on straights, the straights who are homophobes. So ones who are not homophobic and ones who are homophobic. Sorry, I woke up not that long ago. My brain is still trying to like reboot. Anyway, so they got them both separated, and then they go into their own room at a time. They watch porno, straight porn, gay porn. The straight non-homophobic group basically watched it and was like, oh yeah, that's hot for the straight porn. Then watched the gay porn and was just kind of like no reaction. And then the homophobic group was like, had reactions, uh, has a reaction for gay porn. So, oh, hey, Motorbay 4619. Oh, so I'm talking about just like randomly talking about some other things that I recently saw. And there was like a news about, there was a reel basically talking about they tested how much they wanted to know how much homo like homophobia is connected to homosexuality. Like essentially, like are homophobic people actually attracted to homosexuals? And so they had a group of straight people who had no issues with gay people, and they had a group of people who were homophobic. And basically, when they were separated into the rooms and watching porn, they got shown straight porn, then gay porn. And as you kind of expected, the homophobic group all kind of responded positively to gay porn. That's what I was talking about before I was going to move back on to like talking about love. Um, but yeah, I was gonna wait for like about 10 or 15 minutes to see if anyone joined, just because the first session there was only 3 people. I think it's just like a busy work day. People, and it's like middle of the week, so people are busy and tired. And also maybe the time frame for the sessions that I planned wasn't the best. But yeah, feel free to say what nickname you want to go by or name and where you're from. Um, yeah, it's 100% like I think. And projection, oh shit. Why are you up at 5 a.m. though? Are you getting up for work or getting ready for something? But yeah, it's crazy. Like I think like we also have like, for example, just gay people alone as a group. There's a lot of projection in different ways. I was actually talking about earlier as well in the in the stream, that you know, as a group we're supposed to be inclusive. That's what like whole queer sort of movements are about. But at the same time, we also project a lot of sort of like, I guess, insecurity and things that we aren't happy with about our body probably onto like what we expect to have. You know, for example, I generally go for people, I guess, who are pretty fit or like a bit meaty, but like that's just maybe because I don't really have that body myself. Uh, you don't sleep. Yeah, I know. That's what it's like from USA. I follow a few artists, for example, from like the USA, and then whenever they live stream or I see it, I'm like, oh, cool. I love to like join the stream. I go into live on Instagram, and then they're just like, okay, guys, thanks for coming today. That's it for today. And then they like wrap it up, and I'm just like, oh, I missed it. It happens so often. Um, so it is good when I also sleep late. So it is good when I sleep late, then I kind of sometimes do get to kind of catch it. Um, But yeah, I wish more artists did more live streams. Like I love Sam Tompkins. If you follow my channel, Sam Tompkins is like my favorite artist, at least mainstream one. He's just really talented, has a super amazing voice, and his songs are just so fucking good. Like it's two songs from the recent release for his upcoming album, Beauty Queen, and then Body to Body have been so good. His music is, I guess, like his first album, Hi, My Name is Insecure, is mostly like sad songs. Um, but it's like, I don't really know how to describe his music actually, but it's like sad songs. But the new one is more like sort of a bit more pop and a little bit funky, a little bit retro. Um, but yeah, check it out on in, YouTube. His songs and music video are up on YouTube. I'll link it below later on. Otherwise, so what streams were you watching? Like, what other streams were you watching today? Just out of curiosity. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I guess like having people, I can understand. Yeah, that's cool that you joined. Just scrolling. Yeah, I like scrolling a lot as well. I'm on Instagram usually a lot. Not a lot of English speakers. Hmm. For live streaming, is there a lot of like actual like live stream like talking, or is it just like a lot of games, a lot of mukbangs, for example? I assume those would be usually pretty popular, like ASMR. Personally, not an ASMR kind of person. I found sound stimulating, but I guess not that kind of sound. Doom scrolling. Yeah, just flicking through and kind of finding something. I don't join a lot of lives because I just don't come across a lot of them for some reason. Or maybe I just follow people who don't do that a lot. But yeah, I was talking about like, I don't know if you know, like this was meant to be sort of like a little bit, well, mostly to celebrate the wrap of season 3. It's my first season that I'm actually doing. It's my first year doing 2 seasons rather than just one, and first time reaching like 50 episodes within a season. And I was just gonna do like a topic of what is love, or more about love, I think. So yeah, if you had a love story that you felt like sharing, feel free to share it. In the first part, I actually ended up season of the podcast. So I started this podcast in like 2 years now. It's been so we've just kind of reached 2 years, I guess. um and at first, like, it was something I was passionate about, but I was kind of like quite new to it, and I also was quite busy, and I also like quit my job at the time. um so I kind of had a lot of ideas, but I was still wrapping my head around the tech, and also like trying to find the technology, like, right, like all my equipment, and building like the whole thing, and really getting into the learning curve. And so, like, in the end, after a whole year, I only did about like 20 episodes, which I thought was a lot at the time. And I was still trying to figure out the like time length of like different things. Like right now, I've learned so many things this year. I'd say like I excelled the learning process compared to first year by probably about like at least 100%. Um, and my opportunities have grown this year. The numbers have grown this year. At first year, I only did Spotify. Then I learned that there were more platforms, and like to work on, and it was better to do them in tandem. So I ended up growing all the things. Like I do 4 platforms right now. I do Instagram, I do Spotify, I do TikTok, I do Facebook, I do YouTube. But YouTube's the main one that really, really has a high response for me with the subscribers and just things like this. Um, yeah, yeah, I do hope so as well. So if you don't know about this podcast, it's basically also a really unique podcast. The idea is the topic is always changing. So um yeah, you would be, and like the first guy in this stream, which is really, really cool. Um Hi, Dewey Gald. Nice to meet you. Feel free to let me know if you have a nickname you want to go by so I can try and remember you. But yeah, as I was saying, I was just explaining to Watabe4619 about the podcast's origin. So we change topics all the time. One of the ideas is to kind of push to like learn more and also kind of prevent burnout. I find like I watch podcasts, but I don't like watching a lot of the same thing all the time. Um, well, I mean, I did like do a bit of like fitness training at one point, like go to the gym and have a trainer. But he suggested that the main thing I would need to do first would be bulk up and eat a lot, because like it seems like I don't have a lot of, padding and stuff. So none of that would really like work unless I eat enough. Anyway, yeah. So the concept of the podcast, I pretty much came up with the neon light is Heart Ablaze. It's the podcast name. I have to dim it down a little bit sometimes, depending on the day, to kind of make it a bit more uh, like readable, because it's very, very bright. It's actually from Etsy. I do have an episode covering it, and it talks about like where it's from and everything in a short. So it's really cool. It's from a girl from the USA, actually, by a girl called Mia. I believe the company is Neon Outshine or something on Etsy. Um, yeah, I did really enjoy going to the gym. At the moment, I'm not working, and I'm trying to monetize the podcast, because there's a really huge criteria to fill for like views. Um, and it's slowly increasing. It's like been constantly increasing, um, by like 10K, 20K every month, pretty much. So it's like actually pretty good. So I think it's just a matter of time. So I'm really like happy with that. Um, so I don't really have like gym money to be like going with like a trainer or something like that. Going with a friend maybe would be good, but like I just have like trying to save the money for like other things. Like transport costs a lot of money sometimes. Running around the whole day doing all these like yeah, they are. And like the reason why I'm so grateful and wanted to do a live stream for like the subscribers was because I wanted to get to know the people a little bit. Like the whole idea about the podcast is to kind of learn different things, connect different people, and also connect with them and create like a nice community where people are kind to each other, but also like able to help each other. Like, for example, since the podcast is about everything, I'll get to meet different kinds of people. Maybe someone needs like a producer, then I'll be like, oh, you're an artist, you're new, you need a producer. I know a good producer. I know this producer from this place, or I know a producer from this place. You know, Astrology. So if you're kind of like getting that from the Udi, or this is actually Udi from my friend Josh, who's my flatmate. He gave it to me because it's a little bit smaller than he likes, and he's got another one. So it's really nice. I've always wanted to try it, like a Udi. Astrology wise, I'm kind of like I dabble in it, but I don't really know. Oh, thank you. Yeah, see, like that's the thing, though. I mean, ADHD probably plays a part of it, but I love talking about a lot of different things. But yeah, astrology, I dabble in it. I remember growing up, my sister was really into it, and I was really close with her. So I kind of like whatever she got into, I kind of got into a little bit. But my motto was just like, I'll listen to the good stuff, and then the bad things, I'll just pretend it's not true. Not the best like ideology. Um, but yeah, I don't think like I wouldn't say like if I was dating someone or going on a date with someone for the first time, I wouldn't be the kind of person that straight away pulls that question. But if it's brought up, I would probably still show interest most of the time. Um, but yeah, I guess like to answer Mutabe's 4619 about the podcast fully. So yeah, so like I've done 50 episodes this year, and it covers so many things. Like I think the first year I did sort of like some music into artist interviews, which were really important because like a lot of artists are very big now, and they weren't at the time, or some of them were kind of big and like took a shot, like a leap of faith with me. So I thought it was really cool because I didn't have anything to offer apart from just being passionate and interested. um and I did like a short story for a while where I kind of like did episodes where I voice acted, which was fun, but like it was quite a lot of work, and it was really hard to kind of take the story somewhere else like while doing all those sound effects. All right, yeah, thanks for joining anyway, Motave for 619. Hopefully you can join more things or have a look at the episodes. I'm on YouTube. It's just Heart Ablaze Podcast. And we have 3 episodes per week, usually Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah, check it out. Thank you so much for joining and stopping by on your doom scrolling. I really, made my night. Hope to see you again. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff coming up, especially in season 2. I'm interviewing one of my first artist interviews again since season 1 after 2 years, for the next season. So it's going to be really cool. It's going to launch after 1 week break. So after today, there's going to be a 1 week break, 6 days break, and they will launch back on a on a Wednesday, the 1st of June. So that would be really cool, for you. And definitely jump in the comments and then let me know what you think. It would be really cool to see a familiar name. Hope you have a good night's sleep, even though it's 5 a.m. already, but everyone's living a different schedule. So have a good rest. But yeah, after that, there's no more people now, and it's 25 minutes. I think I'm just going to end the podcast early because I'm pretty fizzled out, and I do have an event tomorrow night, and I don't really want to get sick. And my sore throat needs some looking after. I did a twirl for you guys in the first session. I don't know why to end it, but I'll give y'all a twirl as well in this one for the people viewing it later. Udi. All right. Thank you guys for this season. Officially, anyone who has just joined or joined a long time ago or started like subscribing since the early days when this channel used to be from a baking project, and I picked it up again and changed it when I started doing podcasting. Um, but yeah, just thank you all for your time and taking a shot at this like project, Heart Ablaze podcast, with all the different topics changing every episode, all these different life experiences. um and I love watching a lot of internet stuff because sometimes it's like kind of like living other people's lives through them and experiences, but now I get to kind of push that and really experience things for myself. And I hope like eventually I can monetize this and make this my full-time job, which it kind of currently is because I'm on Centrelink, because I just find it hard to kind of get back into hospitality. But hopefully I can make this my full-time job and get paid enough with enough streams to kind of fund the project and do even more bigger fun, more like interesting and more unique events. Right now it's going really well though. There's You'd be surprised how many free events and like interesting events you can kind of get yourself into. But anyway, I think I should wrap it up there. So if you don't know, season 3 has wrapped up as of today, as of this final session, episode 50. It's been a wild ride, and it's about to get more wild. There's going to be so many more opportunities. I've got like 10 episodes worth of material already scheduled, and more ideas that I've like scrambled, listened down in a note. I still need to organize. There's just so much going on. But yeah, so season 2 is definitely going to be really cool. It's my first season, like 2 seasons in 1 year. So it's going to be season 4. What's going to happen is I'm going to take a break for about 6 days after today, and then we'll jump back on the 1st July, launching with season 4, episode 1. It's just going to give me some time to kind of recuperate and organize things a little bit, and also just I'm trying to look into learning to invest in shares and stock holds and stuff. So if you're good at that stuff, please email or DM me and on Instagram or whatever, and have a chat with me. Give me some pointers because, yeah, really have zero idea, and I really don't want to waste money. Yeah, I guess that's it. All right, I'm rambling now. Goodbye. Hope you have a good night. Keep up the sunshine and make sure you look after yourself. Bye. Okie dokie.